I'm joined now by Noel Walker, who is the trainer of Faypoint David, who goes in trap 1 of the Irish Cesarewitch Final on Sunday. Congratulations, Noel. How pleased are you to be in the final?
It's brilliant to be in the final, yes. He come the hard way from the back of the pace and got up just on the line. He ran well.
He really did. He showed his strength. He was last to the first bend. He had a lot to do just to qualify.
Yes, that's right. He's not coming out of the box that well. He's not coming out. He's not powering out of the box, but he's coming home very strong.
Tell us a bit more about the dog, because I looked up his form. He's a February 20 dog. He's been racing since November 21, but he started in quite low graded races and he's very lightly raced. So what's his story?
Yes, we bought him. He ran a race in Shelbourne on the 21st of January and Chris bought him the following week. And we only have him about seven weeks, that's all. And he settled in lovely. He's a lovely temperament and a lovely, lovable dog he is. And we have him in the kennel and he just sleeps there all day and he goes walking 4 miles in the morning with me. And he just loves getting out around, going out and seeing everything.
So why so lightly raced?
He's, well, Brendan, we bought him off Brendan Cullen up north and he only raced him every now and again, like. Because he's walking all the time, I think, and he hadn't that much time to do the dog.
Well, that sort of plays into your hands now. The dog's running very well indeed. How do you see him winning this final, drawing in trap 1?
I think trap 1 will suit him better than where he was out in 5 and 4 in the first 2 rounds. I think he'll get up the rail, and if he just comes out of the box a bit better and gets to the bend, he'll come home very strong. And it's in the lap of the gods then.
There's some great dogs with them early, but should they be looking over the shoulder for your dog, do you think?
It'll be hard to beat the other two. The other 2 dogs are 2 good bitches, like. It'd be hard to beat them, but you never know in a final. Anything could happen.
Absolutely. We've seen it many times before. Listen, congratulations and good luck on Sunday. We'll all be watching.
That's lovely. Thanks a lot, Julie. Thank you.
So the big race coming up this Sunday is the Racing Post Greyhound TV Irish Cesarewitch Final over the 600 yards. We've spoken to some of the trainers, assistant trainers, etc. We didn't, we weren't able to speak to the trainer of Peachtree East. It's Tony Byrne. I'm glad to say Tony got in contact with us. We had the wrong number for him, so that's probably why we couldn't contact him. Tony, it's great that you're on the phone to us, and we'd like to know a little bit, first of all, about you, Tony. How many greyhounds do you train, and you know, is this one of your best greyhounds that you've had in your kennel?
I've 12 dogs here, Errol, at the moment, and Peachtree, we've had some great dogs down the years. We are very, very lucky. My dad worked in the veterinary college for 50 years, and we always had greyhounds. And this dog, we got him through my good friend, Mort Latty, and Stevie Dunn, who Mort sourced the dog from me, and he didn't cost a fortune. And he's been a great dog, and especially he loves Mullingar. And he mightn't be as good as those. He's not as good as those top. I mean, they're fantastic bitches. And I'd like to say that Pat Buckley and Pat Guilfoyle were very good to bring the 2 bitches down, and I admire them greatly for that.
Yeah, I noticed that. I looked through the form. You've brought this greyhound along nicely at Mullingar. It's gone up through the grades, now obviously contesting the top race of the year. We're watching the semi-final where he got a great break in 3 and showed good pace up to the first bend.
He did. When he hits it like that, he's great early pace. He wouldn't have the pace of those top dogs, but he wouldn't be far off them, you know, over. And I didn't know whether he'd stay 600 or not, to be honest. But he's running great. He loves the track, and he's surprised me. And I think he's a very big price, and quite rightly so in against those great dogs. And don't forget Jacktavern, and everybody's got a chance in Mullingar. That's one thing I'll always say about Mullingar. But he loves the track, and it's a very tight track, as you know. But he loves it, and I think he'll definitely be thereabouts.
What do you make of your draw? You're drawn in trap 2 this time round.
with the draw. It's Mullingar, as a rule, over 400 yards. That's the 400-yard box, the 600-yard box. A lot of dogs don't break out of one for some reason. So we'd be very happy with the draw.
I'm joined now by Pat Guilfoyle, who is the trainer of Magical Mary, the defending champion of the Irish Cesarewitch, and she heads into the final in Trap 3 next weekend. Congratulations, Pat. It must seem like a long time ago that she beat Toolmaker Beach by 8 lengths in last year's final. I mean, she's some bitch.
Yeah, she's a great bitch. We're very lucky to have her, Julie. She's we've had her since she was 12 weeks old. So yeah, she's brilliant. She's won, obviously she won the Cesarewitch last year. Then she won on the night of champions in Shelburne Park as well. So she's a really, really good bitch. So yeah, it's nice being the final there again this year with her. It's a good final, but she's in good form. So we hope for the best.
Yeah, I really love her. I followed her career quite closely. And in the St. Ledger last year, it looked like something went amiss with her. I was quite worried, but there was no problems. Just she took a bit of a bump.
Yeah, she had a really rough race that night, and she was involved in all kinds of trouble. So, but she came out of the race okay, thankfully, and has been running great since. So, yeah, it is nice. We're keeping her busy now because when she comes in season, she has hard seasons. So she's out for quite a while. She was out for nearly 6 months after her last season. So, yeah, we keep her going till she breaks, and we probably breed her then when she comes in season again.
I hope that doesn't come this week.
No, it won't. She's although she's due. So.
Talking of bumps, what a race on Sunday. She took a hefty bump from Trap 6 moving across, but she still managed to match Bobsleigh Dream sort of stride for stride to the bend. You must be really pleased with her performance.
Yeah, she loves the long run down in Mullingar, it really suits her. And so like she was really knocked after coming out of the traps yesterday. The 6 dog came across. So yeah, that didn't do any favours, but she ran a really good race behind a brilliant bitch in the Bobsleigh Dream. So she ran a great race to be only beaten a length or two. I think the official distance the length, I say it might look a little bit more, beaten so little by after such a rough race. So yeah, so we were thrilled. It's great to be in the final there again. It's a good final, of course. It always is down there, and but it's a lovely little stake. It's lucky for us, and she won it last year, so it's nice to line up again this year, like with her again.
You must be very pleased that you've been drawn inside Bobsleigh Dream on this occasion for the final. You're in Trap 3, Bobsleigh Dream in 4. That's ideal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It could be a great draw. If Bobsleigh Dream bitch when she breaks, so it does move left. So Mary will need to avoid her in the early stages. Or the two of them could end up bumping off each other on the run down. But 3 is a good breakers box, Mullingar. She's been in 3 every round so far this year, so she likes it there. So we're happy with the draw. So, but it's important that she takes one of her flyers again,
And then you'll be looking over your shoulder because there's some strong finishes as well. But overall, how do you rate her chances for winning on Sunday?
Oh, we were very happy. We're very happy with the draw, and she came off for semi-final in great form. So far everything is looking good. If things, she has a great chance. But there is some very good dogs in the final, and like you can't be conscious of the fact that Bobsleigh Dream is there. She's a really, really brilliant bitch. I'm a big fan of hers, and if Bobsleigh Dream was to take a flyer out 4, she'd be very hard to beat. And that's not ignoring the likes of Jacktavern Bella and all those Faypoint Dave and all these other ones that are there as well. So it's a really good final, and we take nothing for granted. But she's in good form, and hopefully she goes to traps that way next Sunday.
Fingers crossed. Listen, we'll be watching with interest. It's a great final, and good luck defending that title.
Thanks very much, Julie. Yeah, thank you.
So I'm joined now by Emma Buckley, who has 2 runners going for the kennel in next Sunday's Irish Cesarewitch Final at Mullingar, live on RPGTV. Emma, thank you for joining us. Obviously, we've been following this one very closely, and you've ended up double-handed in the final, so congratulations. We're going to talk about Bobsleigh Dream first of all. Sort of needs no introduction, really, but you've always thought very highly of her, and you were telling me that as far back as at Toaster last year when you brought her over for the Derby here.
Yeah, she's always been a class bitch from the moment she stepped foot. She was doing very, very good work at home, and I think it just took her, a few races to really get into it. I mean, the back end of last year, she was just unstoppable, really, and I think the more racing she got, the better she became. But yeah, she's a phenomenal bitch, heart of a lion, and yeah, very, very gutsy.
She was very young then. She won the first round in 29:30, so she certainly set down a marker, but then she's gone on to be fantastic for you in Ireland. She most recently won the Ledger at Limerick in December, so she's sort of held her form pretty well through the winter.
Yeah, look, I suppose we brought her over to Toaster and she did a couple of nice runs, and then, it just didn't work out for our team, but brought her home, got her right again. And, we always had the vision of, aiming her towards little stakes and then bringing her on to the Ledger in Limerick. She won the Tipperary Cup at Thurles, and then we brought her into Limerick for the Ledger, which is just a track that's ideal for her. Big galloping track, big long straight, and even though she nearly got wiped out in the final, she still dug deep and found a way to win, and I think it just shows how good of a bitch she is. She's awful determined.
Her semi-final was brilliant, and I love watching Bobsleigh Dream and Magical Mary go head-to-head, two fantastic bitches of our time, really. What did you make of it? 32-24, great run.
Yeah, it was a brilliant run. Before we went on parade, I said to the Guilfoyle family, what a race this is. Like, you just have to sit back and enjoy it. Like, even if we had been third, you still would have been happy in that heat. But yeah, I think she did it really nicely. I suppose having the inside advantage on Magical Mary in the semi probably was a bit of a help to her, but she managed the bends really well. She showed so much pace, and she kept that distance between herself and Magical Mary, which is impressive because Magical Mary needs no introduction. She's absolutely brilliant and she runs Mullingar really well, but Our Lady is still learning the track. And yeah, I was really impressed with how she ran, in fairness. And yeah, look, it's going to be tricky in the final with her draw, but she's come out absolutely perfectly from the final, or from the semi-final, should I say.
And obviously she gets track 4 for the final, but I suppose the key is you've got Magical Mary on your inside. You'd rather that had been the other way around.
Yeah, look, obviously you probably would have preferred to seen Dream a little bit closer to the rail. Last week she was on the inside of Magical Mary, so it's a new set of rules this week, and you just have to see how it goes, really. But I'm never worried about this lady going into any race, because she just has such a will to win, and she's very, very tough. Like I said, she didn't get anything easy in the Ledger final, and she still found a way to win it. So look, hopefully she just gets a bit of a clear run around those opening 2 bends, and if she does, she'll really be able to show her pace.
I just want to finish by mentioning her strike rate, because it's impressive. 38 races she's had in Ireland. She's been in the first 2 in 27 of them, including 17 wins. I mean, you can't ask more than that for any dog in your kennel.
No, coming down in the van, we literally said, like, winners or draws, she will leave everything out there in the final, and that's all you can ask for. And yeah, look, she's great. She's in great form, and she's the biggest character I've ever had in the kennels. So yeah, it's great to have her in another final. And yeah, look, she's running great, and hopefully that continues into the rest of the year.
He seems to do very well with bitches as well, it has to be said. Good luck. Bobsleigh Dream goes in track 4 of the Irish Cesarewitch Final on Sunday. I'm joined now by Nicky, Holland, who has Jacktavern Bella going for her in the Irish Cesarewitch Final on Sunday at Mullingar. Congratulations, Nicky. What a superstar this bitch has been for your kennel.
Oh, she's a great bitch. She really is. Everyone loves her. She loves life. And she's been great for the lads, the Pillar Syndicate. They've had a great spin with her, and she's in a final again. And look, we're just hoping she can do her best again this week. She's ran great for us the first couple of rounds, so fingers crossed.
I think the way she's run for you in the first couple of rounds won't have come as any great surprise. This trip is probably a little on the short side for her.
Definitely, she's definitely a 750-yard bitch. But this time of year, they're quite thin on the ground in Ireland. So the lads just said, look, would we give her a look around Mullingar? It's probably a track that suits, smaller dogs and mainly bitches, just because of the nature of the track. So she went there. She's probably not come away as well as we'd like her to in the 2 runs she's had there, but hopefully that can only improve. She's running the track well, and she's flying home. In both her races, she is storming home up the home straight. She's really enjoying that long run home. And yeah, she's there, and we'll see what happens on Sunday. She's a little superstar, whatever.
She's been in amazing form as well. She's actually won her last 3 races now, but this year she's been in great form. The first of those wins was obviously over the 750 at Shelburne, but she's just in a nice vein of form. Obviously not too bothered by the miserable weather that we're having at the moment.
No, she just loves life. She really does. She's such a happy bitch. She really is. And look, it's the saying, isn't it? You can't beat a bitch when they're running in form, and she seems to have hit a good vein of form at the moment. So let's hope it continues a few more weeks anyway.
We can't take anything away from Magical Mary and Bobsleigh Dream. They are absolutely terrific bitches as well. But Jacktavern Bella, obviously, she won her semi-final. She wasn't far off the time of Bobsleigh Dream. How do you see her winning the final from track 5?
Look, we're happy to be out in 5. Looking at the draw, probably, you can possibly see Bobsleigh Dream, Magical Mary getting each other's way. Bobsleigh Dream does like to be for the rail. So we're happy to be on the outside of her. Hopefully, if there's a little bit of, scrimmaging, shall we say, trying to get to the rail from those two, Bella can hopefully take advantage. As I say, there won't be anything running on as strong as her. So I think that's how she's going to win it. Look, if she pops out and she's there or thereabouts, she will be running on very well.
And win, lose or draw, what does her future hold? Because she's only in August 20. She's still pretty young to be going the sort of distances she is.
Yeah, look, the 750-yard competitions over here will be starting up fairly soon. So once we get this week out of the way, looking at the calendar, and she'll be aiming back at her optimum distance, which, as we said, is the 750s, and taking in a few of those and go from there with her,
She's showing her versatility, and what a great bitch she is. Good luck on Sunday. We'll all be watching, and all the best.
Lovely. Thanks very much. Best of luck to everybody. Thank you.
Well, Killahan Sydney is the Buckley's second dog going in the Irish Cesarewitch Final on Sunday at Mullingar. Congratulations on making the final with him. Kind of a dog that I think, if I was a trainer, I almost wouldn't know what to do with him, because as you just said, he hadn't got the killer early, but he also got caught over the 600. He's sort of a little bit in between trips, this dog.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, in the semi-final over the 600, he probably had, one of the best 750 bitches behind him, and it was just the wrong bitch turned behind him, like I said. But yeah, look, he's a lovely dog. We always knew the pace was there, and we're delighted to have him in the final, because he hasn't had the easiest ride the last 2 weeks. He's missed a break, and yeah, I think it's just going to do his confidence a lot of good getting to this final and being out wide.
Yeah, he came away really well in the semi-final actually, but it was his middles pace that I think was so impressive. And then, were you disappointed that he got caught, or obviously, given who it was behind him, not so much maybe?
Yeah, I suppose the break was probably improved from the first round. I think there is a better break in him. He showed a lovely middle. He's running those bends very, very well also around Mullingar. For a dog who's so big, we weren't actually sure what he'd take to the track, and I think he's still learning about it in certain areas of it. But no, I was absolutely delighted with his run. I thought he ran his heart out. Again, it was just a very, very strong 750 bit who has brilliant form on a card, set behind him and got a run on him. And Mullingar had these big long straights where, you're well able to chase the dog down coming home. So yeah, look, we were very pleased with the run. And yeah, again, like I said, he might just have the run of the race next week, being the only white seed in it.
Exactly, he is, and obviously gets trap 6 for that. Still a September 20, still quite young and lightly raced. And you said he's massive as well.
He is, yeah, he's a big lad, in fairness. He's about 83 pounds. So we kind of didn't want to over race him too early. He's still kind of developing into himself, and he's a dog. He's quite versatile, in fairness, compared, when you look at his weight, he can run different kind of tracks. Like I said, I was really impressed that he took to Mullingar so well. But yeah, he's a big lad, he's a big softie, and yeah, delighted to have him in the final for Kenny Glen, because he's been such a brilliant supporter and owner and friend of our kennel.
He has. I think he's been pretty lucky for you as well. So good luck to Kenny. He's a lovely man. Is this dog a dark horse? Being, he's well drawn, obviously, gets his trap 6. Is he a dark horse?
I would say so. I think all the pace is there. Obviously, it's a very hot and competitive final. But look, like I said, he's out wide, and I think there's a better break in the dog. He has all the pace. So yeah, look, hopefully he just gets a bit of a run. This is just kind of gearing him up to the bigger competitions later in the year, and getting his fitness up, and the 600 is suiting him brilliantly. So yeah, look, he'll take his chance, and best of luck to everyone in the final. It really is a cracker.
It really is, and it's going to be an afternoon that you enjoy very much. I hope the weather is slightly better than it was for the semi-finals for you, but enjoy it double-handed in the Irish Cesarewitch Final. Good luck, Emma.
Thank you.